We got this. We got this. We got this. Oh, what's up, y'all? Continuing the ClapDIY home fabrication tips and tricks, right? So the last time I did this video a couple weeks ago, I talked to you guys about how to get your feet wet, how to jump in the pool with both feet head first, both feet. This doesn't even make sense. Look, guys, look, just get in the pool and let's melt some together and build some beautiful creations, okay? Follow me. So we talked about the MIG welder, and then we talked about the grinder, all right? The two basic things that you need to begin building stuff at home. This video series is dedicated to the person who sits at home and goes, man, I would love to build something beyond just a basic average bolt-on car. I would love to have a turbo kit, but I don't have $6,000 to pay somebody to build me one or buy a kit that's already been pre-made. This video is for you. I'm trying to dispel any myths and rumors or preconceived notions that you cannot do this stuff yourself, because I'm here to tell you you can. Let's say we'll throw it out there. $1,000, you can get into a decent MIG welder and a decent ability to cut some metal and watch a few YouTube videos. And next thing you're knowing, you're rocking and rolling. That rhymed, that's cool. And you're building beautiful masterpieces of junk like this. Okay, this car right here, 860s in the quarter mile, certified by the NHRA, all mild steel, all MIG welded turbo kit, and roll cage. I built this myself. I have zero professional training. Now, I am not knocking professional fabricators out there whatsoever, or I'm not knocking the individual who wants to write a check to a professional fabricator. Don't get it twisted, okay? Those guys have dedicated years and poured their heart and souls into mastering a craft. I sit on Instagram all day and stare at some of the most beautiful creations that these guys bust out. I love looking at beautiful welding and stuff like that, and I am striving to get myself to that skill set, but it is a tough one to master, and these guys have been doing it for years and years and years. So if you have the money, I appreciate supporting those guys, okay? Don't get it twisted. This video is to show you that you can do it yourself if you choose to go that route, and you can do it economically, not cut corners and go the cheapest route, but you can still get it done and get it right. You can have your cake and eat it too here, all right? So we talked about MIG welding, and we're gonna talk about some more advanced welding in the next couple videos, but today we're gonna talk about some advanced metal preparation and cutting. So let's get into it. These are some things not advanced as in you need more skills, advanced as in you spend a couple more bucks and it's gonna make your life a hell of a lot easier. And this is one of my favorite tools right here. This is my Milwaukee deep cut bandsaw. Deep cut meaning it has a deep throat. And it can cut up to 4 inches tall. Okay, that's how the deep throat is. This thing is awesome. What does this do for us versus a Sawzall or a grinder? Well, first of all, you get clean, straight cuts almost every single time. If you can hold the piece of tubing or the piece of metal straight, it's gonna cut straight as an arrow. And it's not gonna leave a whole bunch of frays and burrs and stuff like that on aluminum or steel and stuff like that. A grinder, you can see Logan's video that he just did doing intercooler piping, and it just leaves a big mess in here. It takes a ton of prep work to clean it all up. Unlike a cutoff wheel, the aluminum is not going to stick in the blade. That's what all this is. This is a little tip for you if you already have a bandsaw or a Sawzall or something like that at home. This is just bar soap. You know, go out and get Irish Spring, whatever color you want, raid your wife or girlfriend's Bath and Body Works stash. And bar soap rubbed on the saw blades will actually prevent the aluminum from galling up and sticking inside of your blade. You can get perfectly straight cuts. If you can hold it straight, you can do curves and all kinds of magic with a portable bandsaw, especially when it's attached to one of these. This is a portable bandsaw table from Swag Off-Road. If you've ever priced what a bandsaw, like a vertical bandsaw costs, especially one that is capable of cutting metal, even used ones on Craigslist and Facebook, Marketplace, they're crazy expensive. That portable bandsaw, I believe, is like 300 bucks, and I think the table was less than $100. So for $400 total investment, I have the portability of a portable bandsaw and convenience of a vertical bandsaw. You get the best of both worlds in a small, convenient carry size package. And check this out. This right here, if you remember in elementary school or middle school when you were super stoked when the teacher would wheel the TV in, that's what this is. This is a multimedia cart that I got at a yard sale for stupid cheap. And it comes with a surge protector and this on it. The reason I have this thing and everything bolted to it, I call this my abrasives cart. I got a vise here to hold material that I need to grind. This stuff is dirty. Fabrication is messy. It leaves dust on everything. If you can avoid doing it inside of your garage, I highly recommend doing so. So that's why I built that cart. I run an extension cord out into the driveway, out into the yard, wheel everything outside. My neighbors love watching me do it. Screw them and the HOA. You know what, Jim, down the street, why don't you wash all the mold off of your house for once? Maybe that would be a start. Screw you, call the HOA. If I get another letter, I swear to God, I am going to immediately tear it up, and then I'm gonna write a scathing message to you on Facebook, and then I'm gonna delete it because my wife won't let me send it. So there's a little freebie for you. It makes cleanup super easy. Like, you don't have a bunch of dust and stuff falling on the cars inside of your garage, and especially if you have like an open engine, nobody wants that. So we've talked about cutting the metal. Let's talk about preparing the metal for welding. Cleanliness is next to godliness when you're talking about welding and getting stuff prepared for it. On here is a whole bunch of stuff that I use personally to prepare my material for welding. First things first, before I hit anything with an abrasive, I want to hit it with a chemical to get all the grease and grime and stuff like that off of it. Look inside of this stainless here. That's bits of metal that's stuck in there because that has like this wax or grease on it that is like shipped in. It's also in there for like lubricating it, like when they're doing manual bends and stuff like that. That stuff stays on the material. They're not going to clean that off for you. MIG welding, by and large, is very, very forgiving. Dirty material. A lot of times it'll just burn through paint, some rust and stuff like that. There is a limit there, but you don't have to clean the bejesus out of it. Usually a quick wipe down with some acetone will get it clean enough for you to MIG weld. But TIG welding, completely different ball game. You need to get this thing like white glove clean as much as possible. And how do we do that? Well, first and foremost, before hitting it with an abrasive, get the grease and stuff off it like we talked about. A couple different ways here to do it. This one right here, a lot of people are probably already yelling in the comments and screaming, okay? Brake cleaner, no, okay? I'm just gonna go out there and put it out there to just kind of cover my ass because I don't want anybody dying because they didn't pay attention to this video. Brake cleaner comes in two forms, generally speaking, chlorinated and non-chlorinated. Okay, non-chlorinated, for the most part, people will tell you that it is safe to use. And yeah, they're kind of right, okay? Chlorinated brake cleaner has, well, it's got chlorine in it, or it's chlorinated. I'm not a chemist, okay? But I do know this. When you use chlorinated brake cleaner, and it evaporates under the heat of welding, and that evaporated brake cleaner gets hit by the UV rays from welding, it releases what's called phosgene gas. Phosgene gas is extremely poisonous. You breathe it in, immediately attacks your nervous system, and, well, it's kind of a bummer. It can kill you, all right? It also, like, attacks, like, your sense of smell and taste and all that. It's just bad news all around. So, like, if you enjoy the taste of your food, maybe you would like to see your kids grow up and finish high school and become contributing members to society, not a total piece of shit like you were, Logan, then don't mess with it. Leave the brake cleaner alone. Here's a foolproof way to make sure you don't die. Acetone. Acetone is awesome. It's very, very cheap. You can get it by the can, obviously. It's easy to use. Like, it leaves little to no residue behind. Pour it on a rag, wipe down your material, and you're golden. And then you can pick whichever gender you identify with and the abrasive associated with it and begin to clean your metal. Now, take this right here as the gospel. You don't want to cross-contaminate your metals, okay? Like, segregate your Metallicas, like the Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Black Album, and Justice for All, like the greatest albums of all time. Do not intermingle those with like pieces of shit like Load and Reload and Saint Anger. Like, segregate your Metallica. This piece right here is a paint and rust stripper. This is like basically a Scotch-Brite on a wheel. I use this solely for cleaning off stainless steel. This stainless steel brush, now stainless steel is stainless steel, like it doesn't contaminate in and of itself, but you can't leave it behind. So that's why I use this brush to clean off all my aluminum pieces. And I have some other stuff here. A knotted wire wheel is stainless as well. And then for the more aggressive stuff, if you have to really dig into it and knock off like the mill scale on mild steel or something like that, or bevel a piece of metal to get it prepped for welding, flap wheels work amazing. For aluminum, you want to be a little bit more gentle. You don't want to dig in there and gouge or leave a whole bunch of tool marks on it, so you can use Scotch-Brite pads. All this stuff right here is great ways to prep your metal. Once you've prepped it with the chemical, you've ground it and knocked off the grimy layer on the outside of oxidation, you should go back over one more time and remove any stuff left behind by the mechanical cleaning that you did. One more wipe down with acetone until the rag comes off clean, and then you're ready to weld. So, what's the difference between prep and no prep? Well, this is no preparation whatsoever on two pieces of stainless steel. Don't judge my welding, okay, I'm not a pro. You can see how grimy and gray and just like, ugh, this is, because I didn't clean anything off on this. Now, flip side of that coin, alternatively, this is what it looks like when you clean it. That is like a little bit better technique there too, but nice coloration. The weld is nice and shiny. All right, this looks 10 times better than that. So here you go. Prep, no prep, prep, and no prep. Just like in drag racing, no prep looks like a steaming bag of and nobody wants it. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it, guys. That's all I got for you on this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this and take something away from this. Swagoffroad.com. Check those guys out. They make these things to fit all kinds of stuff. Not just Milwaukee, DeWalt, even the Harbor Freight, the cheaper brands. Check them out. They have a portable bandsaw stand for all of that. All of the abrasives and cleaning stuff like that, all these cleaning products, you can just pick them up at Lowe's or any other Home Depot, any other hardware store that you can come across. So next video, we're going to talk about some TIG welding and also plasma cutting. We're going to get into these bad boys right here. I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, that's it. I'm out. Peace.